Today's class we are continuing with our acid, bases and salts. In the previous class we stopped with bleaching powder. Today we will study the next compound. Okay, in the previous class we studied about sodium hydroxide and bleaching powder. Okay, so today we will study the next compound, baking soda. Baking soda. The formula for baking soda is NaHCO3. The chemical name for baking soda is sodium. H means hydrogen, CO3 is carbonate. So sodium hydrogen carbonate, or it is also called as sodium bicarbonate. So this is the chemical name for baking soda. This baking soda is basic in nature. Okay, it is a mild base. Okay, it is a mild base. It is a basic salt actually. It is a basic salt. Okay, so we will study how to prepare this baking soda. Preparation of baking soda. So how we have to prepare this baking soda? So we have to prepare this baking soda by the reaction of these elements. One is brine solution. To this brine solution I have to add ammonia gas and carbon dioxide gas. So brine solution plus ammonia gas plus carbon dioxide gas will give baking soda. So I am going to write the equation for this. So what is brine solution? Brine solution means aqueous solution of sodium chloride. It is called as brine solution. Aqueous solution of sodium chloride means sodium chloride and water. It is called as brine solution. So I am going to write the equation. So brine solution means, I told you, it is sodium chloride plus water. To this I am going to add ammonia plus carbon dioxide. So what I will be getting? So this side I am explaining the equation, how we are getting the products. So I have one sodium, I have one chlorine, here two hydrogens I have, and one oxygen I have, one nitrogen is there, three hydrogens, 1, 2, 3, one carbon, two oxygens, 1, 2. Okay, so what I should get? I should get NaHCO3. So cancel that NaHCO3 here. So NaHCO3. Okay, so I will be getting NaHCO3 plus remaining what I have, NH4. NH4 and Cl I have, NH4Cl. So NaHCO3 is baking soda, NH4Cl is ammonium chloride. So this is the preparation of baking soda. Okay, so what are the uses of this baking soda? This baking soda, it is used to make the cakes fluffy and spongy. It is used to make cake and breads fluffy and spongy. So how it makes the cakes fluffy and spongy? If they ask this is a very important question. How the baking soda makes the cake fluffy and spongy? So what is the formula for baking soda? The formula for baking soda is NaHCO3. When you put it in the oven, okay, or when you heat it during the preparation of cake or bread, what will happen? The baking soda will get heated. So 2NaHCO3, it will get heated and it will undergo decomposition. So what will happen if baking soda gets heated? So 2NaHCO3. So how many Na I have? I have 2Na. 2 ones are 2 hydrogens, 2 ones are 2 carbons, and 2 threes are 6 oxygens I am having. Okay, so what I will be getting is, I will be getting Na2 C 3 oxygen O3, Na2CO3 plus I will be getting H2O plus C, and remaining 2 oxygens will form CO2. H2O plus CO2. So 2NaHCO3 will give Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Okay, so when you use baking soda, okay, for the preparation of cake and bread, when the baking soda gets heated, what will happen? It will decompose and it will form these three compounds. So you can see carbon dioxide gas is released. This carbon dioxide gas only will make the cakes fluffy and spongy. Okay, so when baking soda is heated, what will happen? When baking soda is heated, it releases carbon dioxide gas, which makes the cakes fluffy and spongy, which makes the cakes or breads fluffy and spongy. Okay, so the next one, this baking soda acts as an antacid. Antacid means what? Antacid means it neutralizes the acid present in our stomach. It prevents the acidity. Okay, so it acts as an antacid. Antacids means it neutralizes the acid present in our stomach. So it prevents acidity. Why it is used as antacids? Here I told you it is basic in nature. It is a mild base. So that is why it is used as a antacid. So why it is used as antacid? The reason is because it is a mild base. This baking soda is bitter in taste. This baking soda is bitter in taste. Why it is bitter in taste? Because it is basic in nature. You know, all the bases are bitter in taste. Okay, so this baking soda also is bitter in taste. If you use this baking soda for cooking, your cake or bread also will be in bitter taste. Okay, so to give taste, what we should do? We should add tartaric acid to this baking soda. We should add tartaric acid to this baking soda. So when you add tartaric acid to baking soda, you will get baking powder. You will get baking powder. So when you add tartaric acid to baking soda, you will get baking powder. So what is the role of this tartaric acid? This tartaric acid will give the taste. It gives the taste. So this also they will ask us a question. Why we should use baking powder and why we should not use baking soda? Because when we use baking soda, our food will become bitter in taste. Okay, only when we use baking powder, our food will not taste bitter, because the tartaric acid will give taste to the food. Okay, and the tartaric acid is also acting as a preservative. It acts as a preservative for baking powder. Okay, it will not get spoiled. It will act as a preservative for this one, for preservative for this baking powder. Okay. Next one, it is used in soda acid fire extinguisher. It is used in soda acid fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher means we know it is used to put out the fire. What is meant by this soda acid fire extinguisher? Soda acid fire extinguisher means this soda means it is baking soda, and acid means along with that some acid will be there. Okay, so the soda acid fire extinguisher, it contains baking soda and one more acid. Usually it will be sulfuric acid. Okay, so when there is fire, what it should do, the soda, baking soda and the acid, it will react and it will liberate carbon dioxide gas. So how it will react and how it will liberate carbon dioxide gas, that we will see. Baking soda, the formula is NaHCO3 plus acid, usually it will be sulfuric acid H2SO4. So 2 NaHCO3 plus H2SO4. This type of equation already we have studied in the chemical properties of acids. So this is acid, this is metal hydrogen carbonate. So acid plus metal hydrogen carbonate will give salt plus carbon dioxide plus water. This already we have studied. So what salt we will get here? So I have 2 Na, 2 hydrogens, 2 carbons, 2 3s are 6 oxygens, here 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygens I have. So SO4, like this I have. So I will get salt Na2SO4, that salt I will get, and along with that I will be getting H2O and carbon dioxide. So 6 oxygens, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this H2 and 1 O, and this H2 and 1 O, we will get 2 H2O plus this carbon and 2 oxygen, carbon dioxide, and this carbon and 2 oxygen. So I will get 2 carbon dioxide, 2 CO2. Okay, so it is used in soda acid fire extinguisher. Soda acid fire extinguisher means whenever there is fire, the baking soda, it will react with the acid and it will form carbon dioxide gas. You know, for the fire, oxygen is needed. Oxygen is the supporter of combustion. So this carbon dioxide gas will put out the fire. It will extinguish the fire. So CO2, which is liberated, it will extinguish the fire. CO2 liberated extinguishes the fire. So this is about baking soda. I hope you understood what is baking soda. So we have completed baking soda preparation and uses of this baking soda. So the next one is washing soda. Washing soda. Washing soda, the formula is Na2CO3.10H2O. The chemical name is Na2CO3 is sodium carbonate. So the chemical name is sodium carbonate. 10 means deca, H2O means hydrate. So sodium carbonate decahydrate. It is the chemical name for washing soda. Okay, so how this washing soda is prepared? Preparation of washing soda. This preparation of washing soda, it involves 3 steps. Okay, first step is the preparation of baking soda. We will prepare this washing soda from baking soda only. Okay, so preparation, this washing soda is prepared from baking soda. Washing soda is prepared from baking soda only. So just now we saw the preparation of baking soda. First step, what was the preparation? Brine solution plus ammonia gas plus carbon dioxide gas. So what I will be getting? NaCl plus H2O plus NH3 plus CO2. I will be getting NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl. So this is the equation which we studied in baking soda. Yes or no? So this is the first step. Okay, so this is the first step. Washing soda is prepared from baking soda. So first we have prepared the baking soda. Now from this baking soda we have to prepare the washing soda. So the next one is heating the baking soda. Heating the baking soda. So what will happen when you heat the baking soda? That also we studied in baking soda in the first use. If you see the first point in the uses, you have studied carbon dioxide, it makes cakes fluffy and spongy. In that you studied one equation. The same equation you have to write. So when you heat baking soda, what will happen? I will get Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. So these two equations already you have studied in baking soda. So if you have studied baking soda, these two equations will be easy. So the third equation alone is new. So Na2CO3 we have got. We need more 10H2O alone. Okay. So that 10H2O I will add by the process of crystallization. So already I have obtained this Na2CO3 here. So to this I have to add 10 water molecules, and when I do crystallization, this 10 water molecules will get attached and I will get Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. So this is the preparation for washing soda. Now we have to study the uses of this washing soda. Uses of washing soda. First point, as the name itself says, washing soda. It is used for washing purposes. It is used for washing purposes. Okay. Usually in paper industries, in leather industries and all, to wash the paper and leather, it is used. Okay. So the next important point is, it is used to remove the permanent hardness of water, or simply you can say it is used to remove the hardness of water. What is meant by hardness of water? Hardness of water means if the water has more amount of calcium and magnesium ions. If the water has more amount of calcium and magnesium ions, we will call that water as hard water. So if I want to remove the calcium and magnesium ions from the water, I will be using this washing soda. Okay, so it is used to remove the hardness of water, means it is used to remove the excess salt ions from the water. Okay, so these are the important uses. Preparation of washing soda. Now the next compound is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris. The formula is CaSO4 dot half H2O. CaSO4 dot half H2O. The chemical name is calcium sulfate. Half means hemi, H2O means hydrate. So calcium sulfate hemihydrate. So preparation. So how it is prepared? It is prepared by heating gypsum. It is prepared by heating gypsum at 100 degrees Celsius. So when you heat gypsum to 100 degrees Celsius, you will be getting plaster of Paris. So gypsum, the formula is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. This is the formula for gypsum. So when you heat it to 100 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius, or in your textbook it will be given as 373 Kelvin. Both are correct only. In Kelvin you can write, or in Celsius you can write. So when you heat it, this 2 will be dividing into half and 1.5. So I will be getting CaSO4 dot half H2O. This is nothing but my plaster of Paris. I will be getting plus half is here, so remaining 1.5 H2O will be obtained as another product. Okay, so this is the preparation for plaster of Paris. So what are the uses of this plaster of Paris? Uses. It is used in dentistry. It is used in dentistry. Dentistry means it is used by dentists to make false teeth, to make molds of false teeth. Suppose if we are removing a teeth, okay, and if you want to replace it by a false teeth, it is made up of plaster of Paris. This plaster of Paris is used to make many toys and decorative items, okay, and it is also used to make false ceilings. So if you want to make any ceiling with designs, okay, we can make use of this plaster of Paris. And if you have a fractured bone, you can use this plaster of Paris to set the fractured bones. So it is used for setting fractured bones. Okay, it is used for setting fractured bones. What will happen if plaster of Paris absorbs water molecule? Okay, so this is a very important question. Plaster of Paris should be stored in moisture proof container. Should be stored in moisture proof container. Why? They will be asking. So plaster of Paris should be stored in moisture proof container. Why? Why it is stored in moisture proof container? Because when you store in a container with moisture, okay, it will absorb the moisture. Because this plaster of Paris, it can absorb the moisture and it forms a hard substance called gypsum. And it forms a hard substance called gypsum. So that is why we should not store this. We should store this plaster of Paris in moisture proof container, because if you don't store it in moisture proof container, it will absorb water and it will form gypsum, hard substance called gypsum. So how it will form gypsum? For that we have to write one equation. So what is the formula for plaster of Paris? CaSO4 dot half H2O. It will absorb moisture. Moisture means 1.5 H2O it will absorb. So this half and 1.5 will form 2. So I will be getting CaSO4 dot 2H2O, which is called gypsum. So this is nothing but the reverse of this reaction. Okay, so plaster of Paris, it can absorb water, moisture, and it can again form gypsum. Okay. So the next important question which they will ask is, the formula for plaster of Paris is CaSO4 dot half H2O. This is the formula for plaster of Paris. So how is it possible to have half water molecule? This they will ask as a question. How is it possible? How is it possible to have half water molecule in plaster of Paris? Okay, so actually in the nature there is no such thing called half H2O. This half H2O is not at all possible in nature. Okay, so what is the meaning of this half H2O? See, actually two CaSO4 molecules, they are sharing one water molecule. Two CaSO4 molecules, they are sharing one water molecule. So for writing purpose, when you write only one CaSO4, for writing purpose only, I will be writing it as half. Actually, there is no such thing called as half H2O. Okay, so you should write, it is not possible to have half H2O. Okay, so it means two CaSO4 molecules are sharing one water molecule. One water molecule. So we have completed sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, plaster of Paris, gypsum also I have taught you, baking soda and washing soda also I have taught you. Now the last topic in this lesson is water of crystallization. Water of crystallization. So you would have seen some salts. For example, if you take plaster of Paris, CaSO4 dot half H2O. If you take gypsum, the formula is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. If you take copper sulfate, it will be CuSO4 dot 5H2O. If you take washing soda, it will be Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. So this water molecule which is attached, this water molecule is called as water of crystallization. It is obtained during the crystallization process. So water of crystallization, it is obtained during the process of crystallization. It is obtained during the process of crystallization. Okay, so what is that water of crystallization? It is the fixed number of water molecules which is attached to the formula of the salt. So it is the fixed number of water molecules attached to one formula unit of a salt. So to one formula of the salt, how much water molecule is attached? That is called as water of crystallization. So the salt will be having a different color with water of crystallization, and without water of crystallization it will be having a different color. Okay. So for example, if you take copper sulfate pentahydrate CuSO4.5H2O, if 5H2O is present, this will be in blue color. If water of crystallization is present, what will be the color? It will be blue color. But without water of crystallization, if only CuSO4 is present, it will be in white color. So the water of crystallization will give color also to some of the salts. Okay, so with this we have completed our chapter acid, bases and salts. So I hope you understood all those things. Okay, so we will meet in the next lesson. Thank you.